So on the bench today, we have it's probably a middle to late 1960s National Model 70 amplifier. So we're going to do some cleaning up on this thing. I'm going to remove this ugly grill cloth that's on the front here. I've regot it. There was 2 screws holding it in, and show you what we're working with here. So it's quite an amplifier. I guess you could say this is a stereo amplifier. You have a main transformer, really healthy size transformer, and you have a output transformer. So you could just kind of like think about it in this way. You could just split this right down the middle, and you've got 2 halves. You've got 2 5U4 rectifier tubes, 2 6L6s here, and 2 6L6s on this end. Really great lineup of tubes that are in here. You've got the good vintage Raytheon tubes, which I believe are 6L6 GCs. I think they were made in Great Britain. Someone will correct me on that if I'm wrong. And then also there's a set of Westinghouse, which I believe were made in Great Britain. So you've got a Westinghouse here and here, and then you got a Raytheon here, and then one on this end. So they're evenly, I don't know what you want to call, evenly matched. And of course the inside one here is a rectifier. This is an RCA, and this is a Sylvania. Good quality stuff. And then up in the top, here are the covers. You have 2 12AX7, one there, and then one over here, which are RCAs. Good stuff. The amp, I think, was designed to kind of compete with the Fender Bassman. It's simple controls. You have a volume and treble bass control there. Less is more bass. This way is more treble, of course. You have an on-off switch. You have a line switching mechanism, which it's been upgraded with a 3-prong cord, so that's good. It's really kind of makes that, really don't need that line switching. It has 2 inputs, and on the tone control switch is a 3-position switch. It's a high bass, low bass, and guitar. So that's why I say I think this was really they had in mind a design to kind of compete with the Fender Bassman. But yeah, so we're going to, I cleaned up this right here in the center. As you can see, it's got a pretty nice shine to it. You got to be careful cleaning on these. You can't get too rough. There's some surface rust on here, which I don't really care. It adds character to it. But I cleaned this up in here. It came out pretty good. I had 3 different kinds of wax. One was more of a cut to get the dirt swirls away, and then more of a polish. So I had 3-step process. But I did this center here, and turned out pretty good. So I'm going to try to clean up some more of this without removing this stenciling that's on here, which is easy to do if you're not careful. And on this surface here, I'm going to try to clean up some of that. And looks like one of these could have been 2. These tube sockets. This one's been changed, and this one may have been changed. I think goes to say that National Valco, that was maybe one of their weaknesses, was their tube sockets would get kind of loose. Of course, you can retension them, but then again, this one looks like it was changed out, and I think like it was a pretty good, nice ceramic tube socket that they used. Not really sure. I'll have to check into that. I haven't had the amp apart to really see. It was bought in with the The post was saying that had been checked over by a tech and it was in good running order, and it does. It sounds really nice. It seemed like it's El Paso tube amps and Uncle Doug teamed up, and they have one of these on here that they're demo, and he made some changes to this filtering circuit over here, and he talks about it in his video. But this is the Model 70, and you can check their video out on YouTube. But yeah, it's got that classic retro style handle. It's something they probably used on refrigerators or stoves. I don't know, but it looks cool. And of course, if you see one of these amps, this one was evidently, I don't know what happened to the original cab. I don't know if this was the original cab and it was just cut down to make it into a head type amplifier. But of course, Valco National, they had that really nice Tolex. And this is kind of like I don't know. It looks kind of like a dark blue. And it came equipped with some good classic cigarette burns. So, this thing has seen some action, I'm sure, over the years. But, yeah, so we're going to get rid of this nasty, funky-looking grill cloth. I don't know what this stuff. I've seen this before. I think it's the cheapest, nastiest stuff. I don't like it. It looks horrible. I had a piece of grill cloth that I'm going to use where I had redone an old, I think it was a Silvertone amp, and it's this stuff right here. And I think it's going to look really nice. So I'll do another Fallout video with the sound demo. Going to do some cleaning up on here. So I'll get a part 2 going for this amp and, see how it turns out. If you like what you see, subscribe. I'm going to try to start posting at least maybe a video a week. And, but yeah, if you like what you see, subscribe, and we'll see you soon for part 2.